Back in early 2020, the Tested team and I flew to New Zealand to visit our friends at Wētā Workshop as they embarked on their most ambitious project yet. A sprawling exhibition celebrating the creative genius and the deep problem solving that Wētā Workshop and Richard Taylor have made world famous. That exhibition, now called Wētā Workshop Unleashed, is open for public display in Auckland, New Zealand, and I cannot wait to see it in person. But until then, let's go back and visit me and the Tested team in early 2020. You've seen me in this shop making real swords on a couple of different occasions with Swordmaster Peter Lyon. Well, today I'm going to learn how to make swords using an entirely new material and on a time scale that is way more compressed. We're going to make some speed weapons today. All right, gentlemen, where do we begin?
Well, I'll just tell you what we're trying to do here.
Yeah.
I've tasked Joe with making a number of very quick weapons. He's not allowed to have more than a single day per weapon, but he's also challenged to try and make them every half a day because we want just mass bulk of these wild, crazy, fantastical weapons. There's two ways that we're actually making them, Adam. We're either milling them on the milling machine.
So this is a piece of plastic clamped down and...
Absolutely, done in two halves.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even need to see the back side. We're going to the trouble of milling the other side because it's so quick to do. But when you see it from the side, you know it's got a thickness.
Right.
But while running in parallel to that, Joe is also making his own weapons.
And you're freehanding these?
So yeah, we've been making paper templates to start off with, so we can get the shape nice and symmetrical. So sketch it out.
Right.
Unfold it and cut it in two halves.
Yeah.
And then we can get the detail in the center.
Right.
And then we can glue the two halves and route the edges.
To do the hollow grind, you have a router bit that's a hemisphere with a bearing at the bottom?
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen such a thing.
Really versatile. And we've got them in triangles, domes, all sorts of shapes.
So these inside ones got using the triangle one, and then the outside one's got the dish one. Yeah,
they're never quite big enough. It's really frustrating because we'd like much shallower hollow grounds, but what do?
You make your own.
Well, that's if going at 30,000 RPM. We've been a bit nervous about it. We're not nervous about many things, but routers are definitely a tool to be respected. So
routers scare the crap out of me. Okay, this is a really awesome, fast technique.
Yeah, I thought it would be lovely if you wanted to design a sword. We literally draw them straight onto the paper, and it gives everyone the viability to draw their own weapon.
Oh, lovely.
So you draw half the sword, basically.
Okay.
You can see here, you actually draw a pattern. Remember, your hand's got to fit. You've got to have a crossbar, a pommel, and the blade.
Oh, this is fun. So once I draw this, what are we cutting it out of? This is...
Well, what do you call it? We call it sign writer's board because
it's used for sign making. It's PVC, right?
Yeah. We call it Foamex in the UK, but I think it's Sinex here.
Okay. In the US, foam PVC is called Sintra, but I'm not sure the Sintra I have is as nice as this on a finish from a route.
It's really a beautiful product. You can get it multiple thicknesses. You can laminate it wonderfully. Obviously, it's delivered with a really compressed, clean face because that's where the sign writing graphics go. But you can get the product through its cross section to that level through sanding and spray putty, etc. And you can see Joe's very quickly just thrown a spray putty onto it and achieved the same result.
It doesn't dull your tooling at all either.
No, it's incredible for milling because you can put the mill through it at the highest speed of the mill, unlike aluminium, which you've got to cool, of course.
Awesome. Okay, I'm going to start drawing. Oh, that's great. I always love the leaf-shaped blades.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm noticing angular stuff, so I'm thinking...
Oh, please do a more organic one. Remember that you're working in two halves, so when you open it, of course, you'll suddenly discover you've got a very large paddle.
Well, yeah, that's why I was thinking about doing a...
Oh, fantastic. Actually, a negative space inside it.
Negative something. You're right. It's actually way too wide a leaf, isn't it? So we're cutting, this is literally, while we'll fold out the template, it's going to be used to cut out 2 halves of PVC, which will then route the inside and outside of and join back together.
Correct.
Okay. It's a lot of lovely symmetry.
So sometimes we do it in 4 quarters,
Right.
so we can actually route the inner and the outer.
Yeah.
In this case, we're actually going to do it in 2 halves.
Okay.
And because you want a hole in the middle, we'll do that with a jigsaw.
Oh, okay.
We'll drill a hole and jigsaw it out. You could ultimately bandsaw in from the tip, and then we just fill it with super glue and bog it, because they're just dress weapons.
I'm very self-conscious making a blade in a place where you guys have made so many thousands of beautiful blades.
Yeah, well, these ones can have a few liberties. They intentionally want to be a little bit almost daft in some ways and be over-the-top fantasy. So they're not our usual blade manufacturing.
What about doing something like...
Some little hieroglyphs up it? Or?
Yeah, I was thinking of just some cutouts,
yeah,
like a
yeah,
serrated
right.
kind of thing. It seems like it kind of wants such a thing.
A good technique, Adam, for when you come to decide how wide you want your edge grind is this wonderful technique of just simply using your finger as a guide.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's amazing how accurate it is. I used to watch my dad do it with his engineering, and of course, I can't do it on the paper easily, but once you've bandsawed it out, you can then dictate how wide you want the edge grind, and it's a lovely technique.
Someone showed that to me, it changed my life. And then I'm sure you've had the same thing, is as you're doing it, someone will look at you and go, how'd you draw such a straight line?
Yeah.
And then there's also the ways in which I've found to kind of adjust my hand to do these extreme...
You roll that, because you can't do it off the tip of your finger because you've got the flex. But if you roll your finger, that back face of your little finger becomes
you get these quite long. I've done, like, those kind of...
And they're amazingly accurate.
Yeah,
so
it's remarkable. All right. I think it's...
Happy with that?
Yeah, I call it a light bulb dagger.
Yeah. Nice. Well, I'll leave you with Joe, and he'll take you off to the milling sanding room, and I look forward to checking in and see how it's going.
All right, Joe.
So
now that we've got this, so we're actually still going to do this.
So we can still get the inside bit.
So will we rip this in half and cut them both out at once on the bandsaw?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. So we can sketch it on this side and then flip it over and sketch it on this side.
Okay, great.
And then when we come to do the finishing sand, we can stick them together and bob and sand them together.
Oh, that's great. All right.
That looks great, eh?
Nice, yeah. I'm pretty pleased with that.
Nice.
I think the route will be neat here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will be really cool.
Yeah.
All right, so, yeah. There we go. Oh, yeah.
Quite satisfying, eh?
Very. I must say, routers, not my favorite tool.
Yeah.
They're just way too scary to me.
Yeah.
However, this is a nearly perfect.
Especially
use
with this material, it's
Yeah.
it's a bit more forgiving than.
It's totally a light bulb blade.
Nice.
I'm very pleased. I'd love to take the. You have a finger
Yeah,
sander?
powerful. Yeah, yeah. We can even think about if we've got a little bit of time left to using the 6mm, just do a bit of a crossguard detail.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
We can
yeah.
stick that on after.
Right,
so
right.
We can. What I was doing before was just pressing,
Right.
so we can see where our routed line is, and then we can draw on whatever.
I have a.
where
Do you want to
to
do that? Well,
yeah, of course.
I'm gonna do
Yeah,
some
yeah.
shaping of the serrations on
Cool.
that guy because
Okay.
I want to do both sides of that.
Yep.
Okay.
No problem.
Speed builds like this are one of the greatest learning tools there is in model making because it really teaches you how to prioritize what's important and what's not. There's no time to make this perfect, but there are certain details you have to get right. Like you can't have too much asymmetry. You can't have unfinished edges that sort of end without a reason. You have to make it look manufactured, but you can't dawdle. So these decisions have to be made very, very quickly on the fly. It just reminds me right back. It just brings me right back to days of working in commercials where you had one day for everything. This material I'm using, it's called Sinex in the UK. it's foam PVC, the same stuff white plastic plumbing pipe is made of in the US. And I'm familiar with it as a product called Sintra, but I'm not sure the edge grain of Sintra is quite this nice. I'm going to have to pull out some pieces and see. It's a phenomenal speed modeling material because it's soft yet rigid. It holds a shape. It sands incredibly fast. Like you can just move material with just your hand, and there's not many things that do this like this. It's perfect for a project like this. All right.
Yeah, looking awesome.
It's getting close. It's totally a light bulb dagger. That's good.
I don't like it. Yeah. So I've just been working on this from our paper template. I just cut out the profile for this so we can have an extra detail on top to help separate the blade and the handle.
That looks great. I feel like maybe I should just maybe I don't even need to worry about the return on that.
Well, these are all going on the wall, so
right.
certain details we can get with.
Yeah, that's a great bit of shadow detail.
Yeah.
Maybe later when we're done, we put a jewel there and there, or some little rivet or screw.
Uh-huh.
Shop shower.
So the next stage is putting texture in.
It looks so much better after you've had a bit of time with it. It looks fabulous.
Yeah, so we just got slightly finer grades, just got this nice and smooth, and put a little bit more of an edge on certain areas.
Really nice.
That crossguard bit that we were cutting out, just sort of smooth that in. That looks kind of nice, eh?
Looks terrific.
I was just saying that on this bottom bit looks a little plain, so I just added a little detail with spade bits, just to quickly get an effective. Sorry, just so that one to drill down, and then this one just to add the rim detail.
It's fabulous.
And I thought we could kit bash a little bit and add a finishing touch detail. So these are just bits we had in the leather room. So little bits of rivets and things like that.
Yeah.
So something like that, or too big, or too little.
Yeah, I actually
think
that's just something so that simple.
So just add a little bit of glue, drop that in. So this is what we're going to use for texturing.
This is how we're going to make them look beat up. Jesus, what is that, like a 10 grit?
Yeah, 36. So,
36.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. Say 40 grits. Yeah. So just drop a little bit of glue in there so it can. Cool. Yeah, I also saw some leather which we can add later as well. So I haven't worried too much about the handle.
Yeah.
So we don't need to texture that part. So there's two methods I've used. So mainly this one for that. If we want the really beaten up one, we've used this air tool for that. But that's extremely noisy.
What? This is
like a bag of nails attached to an airline. So
this is a rust remover, right?
Yeah. So to get like nice patinas on, So it's a bit brutal for this sort of thing, but I'm probably too brutal for a dagger. But it's your choice. So I use that to just get
Sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah.
I just want to try this.
Try it. Yeah, might as well do a little bit.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that looks good and proper.
Nice. Cool. Yeah. It's great. Now I can turn off the extraction.
Yeah, good and beat up. Okay.
Oh, good. So I've just been using that and hitting that with a hammer. So you can, just to get the small pitted details.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I see.
So it gives a really lovely texture. So you can use both sides of the hammer as you like.
I see. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, quite.
Wow, it's very quick, isn't it?
Yeah. It's that nice soft material as well. Again.
This is entering my repertoire instantaneously. I'm seeing some of the softness of the paint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, we could if you use the ball end of it, you can sort of get in and get the finer details.
Right. That's God. It's just so lovely in the PVC because it deforms so quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of the great things about no two craftspeople do the same thing in the same way. So there's always something to learn by working it through with somebody.
Yep. We can also add a few scratches. And
I like those
sort of details. So kind of any tool you can really use to sort of start going to town hitting it. Those the rasp files that we were using before, they're quite effective.
Yeah.
But also slightly blunter tools, even just like the end of that. Like you can add some nice.
Oh yeah.
Just like more rounded ones, but then
Like
obviously
big dings.
Yeah, the triangle one you had before. This one's quite effective for doing little cuts and things like that.
Like some. Oh. Whoops.
Yeah, or even using the edge. Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
you see.
Right. As if it's been like hit by a thing.
Awesome. Yeah, it looks great. So, so we can sort of have a look at some of the detail and how it comes up. We use a little bit of graphite powder, and maybe we'll just put some gloves on.
I love graphite
Unless you
powder.
want graphite on your photo.
No. Graphite powder has been one of my favorite things for 30 years.
Yeah, nice.
It
really just shows you what you got in terms of texture and things like that.
Right.
Yeah. So you can brush it on, or brush it on is most effective.
All right. This is where it gets exciting.
Exactly, yeah. And then we can give it a bit of a buff. So it brings it up.
I love it. How much it just like comes on up.
You can sort of scrub it with the brush quite hard as well, and that brings it up quite nicely. Nice.
Gorgeous. Look at that.
Cool. So if we're happy with that, then we can move on to wrapping a little bit of leather around.
Totally happy with that.
So, I got some just scraps out of the leathering. So these are a bit more gnarly. I thought that's sort of like a little bit more orky looking. But for ours, since we've gone for quite a leafy look, I thought green might be quite nice.
I like this one. Thank you. I think that's good.
So we can just put a little super glue tack to start off with. And then
I was just going to just
give it a test run.
Take a little look. Yeah. Oh, yes. That's definitely it. Okay.
Yeah.
You've made this way easier than it normally is. Thank you.
No worries. Yeah, you got it. Nice.
I'm really pleased.
Done that faster than I
That looks
expected.
wonderful.
That's good.
Do you know that blowing on it actually helps?
Yeah, moisture, eh?
Moisture and carbon dioxide,
Yeah,
both accelerants.
excellent.
Dude,
There you go.
what do you think the boss will think? I feel like he'll like it.
I think you'll love it. Yeah, it's great.
You're having so much fun. At the end,
Yeah.
how many of these weapons are you going to be making? Like 30 or
Not sure
40?
yet. We've got to fill a whole wall, so yeah,
It's a lot.
There's between. I've obviously been making some in this fashion, but they've also been CNCing some, and they've also cast a few out of molds and making them modified and more. Yeah, just like variations. Yeah.
This is so much fun. This is a good craft day. I think you could do this for a living. Just have people make fake weapons
it's great
in
fun.
one
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Now I'm actually I'm curious what the boss will think.
All right, and how did it go?
Well, boss, I'm curious.
Woohoo! It works. Fantastic.
That was
Good fun,
so much fun.
Yeah, great. Eh? Oh, that's beautiful. Well done.
I was telling him that, like, This kind of job is the one where I would be trying to do one extra one per day every single day.
Yeah,
so like
exactly.
3 one day, 4 the next, 5
That's
the next.
exactly what I'd be like too.
Just
I
keep
gonna
on, keep on.
smash them out.
Yeah.
And
These
that's
techniques
lovely.
were fabulous. I learned about 3 new tools I didn't have before, and I have a whole new appreciation for the
For
foam PVC.
and graphite, I can see.
I have been loving graphite for 30 years.
Yeah.
It is such a secret.
That's the graphite king there.
Yeah.
Paul. Hey, Paul, come on over here for a minute. Like, you don't get hands like these without being the graphite king. So, oh, well, fantastic. I'm glad you got to make one more thing while here.
Thanks for letting
Cool.
me play.
Cool. You're most welcome.